How good was prime Russell Westbrook? Let's see.
Prime Russell Westbrook.
He was better than prime Steph Curry. I'm calling it right now. I said it.
Daddy, chill.
Kobe once said that the player who reminds him most of himself is Russell Westbrook.
Okay, I see it.
And just like Kobe, Russ is one of the
Russ
most
is a taller
players in
taller
NBA
version
history.
of Allen
A guy
Iverson.
that averages 10 assists and gets called a ball hog. Someone who wins an MVP
That's
and
so
gets
crazy.
called a loser. A
That's so
superstar
crazy.
who gets called a locker room cancer. So, how good was prime Russell Westbrook actually?
Hey, let them know they need to put some respect
in
on
the
him.
2008 NBA Draft, the Seattle Supersonics select Russell
Westbrook.
Westbrook from UCLA.
Didn't even get a chance to play there.
Russ never played in Seattle because
Didn't
2
even
weeks
get to
later
play
they
one
moved their
game.
franchise to Oklahoma City and became the Thunder. When he first got to the NBA, Westbrook was still the same guy he was all his life. A point guard with bad court vision and a shooting guard without an outside shot.
That's cute, man. That's cute.
But his
Dang, that's
havoc-wreaking
crazy.
energy and unreal speed are what separated him from every other player and made him special. No one could slow him down. Russ would grab the rebound, turn on the jets, and dunk it on the other end in less than 4 seconds. In one moment, you'd shake your head in disappointment after a bad turnover, and in the next one, you'd shake your head in amazement after one of Westbrook's signature dunks through traffic.
Let me ask y'all a question. Do you think if Derrick Rose would have stayed healthy, he would have been like this? Because essentially that's where Russell Westbrook was.
Russ was
It
always
might be the other
Russ,
way
and there
around.
was nobody who was going to turn him into a methodic and
Marco
poised point
Animal.
guard like John Stockton or Jason Kidd. In
Dang,
his third
that was
season,
racially
Westbrook
motivated.
became an
You coulda
all-star,
said Magic
averaging
Johnson.
22 points and 8 assists. In his fourth year, the Thunder made the NBA Finals, with
Yep.
Westbrook playing a spectacular second-round series against the Lakers.
Yep.
Then, in the finals against Miami, the main narrative surrounded the LeBron versus Durant matchup, and rightfully so. But Russ wouldn't be Russ if he didn't put his imprint on the series for better or worse. In the pivotal Game 4, Westbrook scored 43 points, but then took
Dang,
some awful
I
shots when the
forgot
game
about
was
that.
on the line, and Miami took a 3-1 lead. In Game 5, Russ shot 4 for 20 from the field, and the Thunder
Ooh-wee.
lost the series. While most of the world blamed James
Yeah,
Harden
we gotta
for a
set you on
bad
the bench if
performance,
I'm the coach.
Westbrook had his own share of critics. Yes, he averaged 27, 6, and 6 in the finals at the age of 23, which was astonishing. But still, why did he take 3 shots per game more than KD, who was much more efficient
crazy.
and a reigning 3-time scoring champion?
'Cause
Despite
Russ was
the
the
bad
alpha,
shot
low-key.
selection and losing the
Low-key,
championship,
Russ was the
everybody
alpha.
believed that Russ, KD, and Harden would become a dynasty. But the trio would soon become a duo, as James Harden was traded to the Rockets. Even though trading Harden would soon prove to be the biggest mistake in OKC history, KD and Russ were
Wait, hold
more
on.
than capable of running the show.
No, that was not a mistake. Fact or fiction, James Harden wouldn't have been James Harden if he left OKC.
2013, Oklahoma won 60 games in the regular season and secured the #1
Dang.
seed in the West. In Game 3 of the first-round playoff series against the Rockets, Patrick Beverley collided with
Bro,
Russ.
my toe
Thunder
is
superstar
itching.
fell to the floor in pain. His meniscus was torn, but he still finished the game and scored 29 points. However, after the game, he was ruled out for the remainder of the season, after which many people asked the same question. Will Russ regain his athleticism and fly above the rim like he used to? Or
Dang.
will he suffer the same fate as Derrick Rose, another superhuman point guard who never fully recovered after his knee injury? This was
Nice.
also the first time Russell Westbrook was ever injured. Dating back to high school, he never missed
And
a
that was the
single
beginning
game.
of the Russell
It's said
Westbrook
that
and Patrick
after his
Beverley
first knee
beef.
surgery, Derrick
Never
Rose
ended.
was afraid to step on the treadmill. And Westbrook? Well, after the initial surgery to repair his meniscus, Russ came back even faster than everyone
Whoa, it
expected.
looked like he was
and
just
still
twerking right
playing
there.
the only way
No
he knew
lie.
how, at 100 miles per hour. But because of his relentless nature, his knee didn't fully recover, and he'd need 2 more surgeries before the 2014 season. Thankfully, Russ recovered for the playoffs, where he showed that his athleticism and spirit were intact. He fearlessly attacked the basket at full speed like we've grown accustomed to, and he helped the Thunder reach the conference finals. But against the Spurs, the Thunder lost in 6
Get out the
games,
way.
despite Russell averaging 27, 6, and 7, which led all scorers in the series. In 2015,
What'd he
it was
shoot,
KD
though?
who
What
suffered a
efficiency?
season-ending injury. And that fully unleashed Russ. Westbrook averaged a career-high 28 points per game, which led the NBA in scoring, along with 7 rebounds and nearly 9 assists per game. But without KD, the Thunder missed the playoffs by 1 game. In 2016,
Oh,
OKC
yeah.
bounced back. winning 55 games and making the conference finals against the Golden
Dahmer.
State Warriors. In Game 4, Russ led the Thunder to a dominant victory with 36 points, 11 rebounds, and 11 assists. OKC took a 3-1 lead in the series, and it seemed like they were on course to another NBA Finals clash against LeBron. But in the next 3 games,
The
Westbrook
NBA had
shot
to cheat and let the
35%
Warriors
from the
win.
field, and less than 30% for 3, with
Case
5
closed,
turnovers
enough
per
said.
game. The Warriors bounced back and won the series in what was the most disappointing loss in Thunder history. With Kevin Durant entering free agency, the whole world wondered if
The
he was
NBA
going to
had
stay
to cheat
loyal
for
to
the
Russ in
Warriors,
Oklahoma
enough
City
said.
or sign with somebody else. For all OKC fans, KD chose the worst possible option, signing with the Warriors, a team that just defeated OKC in the playoffs.
Yeah, that brother's starving.
Westbrook was livid with KD's decision and his lack of communication about leaving the team.
This is how it goes. When I hoop, I have no friends.
But just like it was in 2015
That's
when
crazy.
KD got hurt, Russ was now fully unleashed.
So you on your Drake, no
Free
new
of sharing
friends,
the ball
huh?
with Durant, Westbrook had the best statistical season in modern NBA history, averaging 31.6 points, 10.7 rebounds, and 10.4 assists, becoming just the second player ever to average a triple-double
That was
for the
nice.
season.
They
In
not gonna show that in them
2017, Russ broke
highlights,
all
though.
sorts of records. He had 42 triple-doubles on the season, including 3 50-point
Add 'em
games with
up.
a triple-double. He
Add
had the
'em
highest
up.
usage rate in NBA history
Green
and
light.
led the NBA in scoring. But in the playoffs, the Thunder quickly lost to the Rockets in 5 games. In a series
man
they
and Patrick
never looked
Beverley,
like
bro.
they could win. Despite Russ averaging 37, 11, and 11 in the series, OKC never played as a team, which proposed another big question. Was Russell actually helping his team with all those triple-doubles? And despite averaging more than 10 assists per game, was he actually a selfish player? The answer
No,
to
he
that
wasn't
is
selfish.
yes and no.
No,
Statistically
he wasn't
speaking,
selfish.
OKC won over 80%
He was
of
just
the
doing what
games
he had to
Russ
do. He was
averaged
just
a triple-double.
LeBron
They
in
were a
Cleveland.
worse
Before
team
he
when
left
Westbrook
to
was
join
on the
Miami,
bench.
he was just
But
doing what he had to do.
On the other hand, his hero ball wasn't ever going to work in the playoffs. And that's not just because of Westbrook's weak supporting cast, it was doomed because of how he treated his supporting cast. Westbrook would often have the ball 90% of the entire possession, and then even if he passed the ball, it would be a hot potato pass at the end of the shot clock.
Hey,
Other
you gotta
than
do what
Russ,
you gotta do if you
nobody had
the only
chance to get
person,
into
bro. You
any
gotta do what you
kind
gotta
of
do.
rhythm, and that killed the flow of the game. Despite averaging over
Dang,
10
I don't know what
assists
shot
per
that
game
was.
and getting his teammates wide open shots, they would usually be ice cold.
Carmelo,
and barely
boy.
remember what a basketball felt like. With an offense that's so heavily dependent on one player, even when Russ would set,
Carmelo
other
had the
players
hardest
started
downfall
forcing
I've ever
shots just
seen.
to feel relevant. Throughout
I
NBA
ain't even gonna
history,
lie.
this kind of hero ball
Buck up.
never
Ooh,
really
never mind.
worked. When Oscar Robertson averaged his triple-double, he lost the first round of the playoffs. The same with
For real?
Jordan when he averaged 37 points per game.
Yeah,
or
we knew
Kobe
that.
when he averaged 35.
Jordan didn't
Sure,
start
there
winning
is
until
an
he got
argument that
Scotty.
Russell
Everybody knew
won a
that.
ton of games by himself, playing 1-on-5
And that's the GOAT,
dominating. You could also
supposedly.
say that he had to play that way because he didn't have great teammates, and that it was the only way for them to win games.
Serge
But
Ibaka
the
don't
best
ever do
players
that
are
again,
always
bro.
making their teammates better. Despite Westbrook's individual brilliance, his teammates wasted away next to him, and their skills were reduced to setting screens and catch-and-shoot three-pointers. Not to mention boxing out so he could get the rebound for his triple-double streak, as more than 80%
That's crazy.
of Westbrook's
From your
rebounds
teammates,
were
though,
uncontested.
snatching the ball from your
Russ
teammates
won
is
the
crazy.
MVP for his historical treatment, and rightfully so. It's a regular season award,
Right.
and the man was absolutely brilliant in the regular season, doing something we haven't seen in the modern NBA.
Keep
But
up
after
with
the
him.
2017
Keep up with
season
him.
Finished, the world realized that Kevin Durant was right for going to Golden State. KD was better off in a system where everyone touches the ball, and where he didn't have to
Bro,
shoot
that's literally
isolation
a
shots
cheating
over two
system,
defenders.
bro.
Westbrook proved that he can be dominant without KD, but one
Them
of them
two
lost
rings
the
that
first round,
KD and
while
Steph
the
got
other
don't
won
count,
an
bro.
NBA championship.
Now Draymond and
If somebody-
JaVale McGee,
You
yeah,
think it's
but
possible to average a triple-double in the NBA? What would you consider? I'd say why not?
After he won the MVP, Westbrook averaged a triple-double in 3
Again.
of the next 4 seasons.
That's crazy.
Each time,
That's
his
underrated.
teams lost in the first round of the playoffs. and nobody cared too much about his triple-doubles. In 2023, Nikola Jokic was 12 assists shy of averaging a triple-double for the season, and he's a perfect example of why all stats are not created equal. Jokic gets everybody involved. He doesn't force shots and doesn't pass to get the assist.
The Jokic meat rod must stop, bro. It must
Teammates
cease.
cut and move all the time.
The
because
Jokic
they
meat
know
rod
that
must
they're
be
going to
patched,
get
bro.
the ball.
Joel Embiid is better.
It's often just getting out of the way and waiting in the corner. While basketball completely
Come on
changed
now. He
since
win one
came into the
championship and all of a
NBA,
sudden he
Russ
the
stayed
greatest
the same.
player ever.
He was always a shoot first, ask questions later kind of player. A guy who always goes 100 miles per hour for better or for worse. A guy who does things his way and can't be tamed by coaches. But when he was in his prime, nobody can argue that this wasn't effective and that Westbrook wasn't a hell of a player.
I don't really care what nobody else thinks about my game. As long as I'm okay and satisfied with what I do and bring to the table.
Dang, that's not a winning attitude, bro. I ain't even gonna lie.
He's one of the 6
That's
best
not a winning
transition
attitude. I
players
ain't
in
even gonna lie.
NBA history. On a list that includes young Charles Barkley, Jordan, LeBron, pre-injury Derrick Rose, and Giannis.
Dang,
His
they gotta
trademark
say that,
move when he
bro.
gets the rebound, dribbles the whole length of the court in 4 seconds, and then dunks over 2 defenders was mesmerizing. Poetry in motion that would bring the whole crowd to their feet. Despite often hunting for rebounds and teammates letting him get the ball for triple-doubles, it's safe to say that Westbrook is the best rebounder ever at his position. When he finishes his career, Russ will have over 25,000 points and 10,000 assists, a list that includes only him and LeBron. Westbrook is a 2-time scoring champion and a
you know you got you can't have a career stat
made
conversation
9
without having
All-NBA
LeBron
teams,
in it.
with
Come
only
on now.
25
Fact or
players
fiction?
in NBA history who have made 10 or more. By sheer numbers and accolades, Russ is among the 15 or 20 best players of all time. And throughout NBA history, there haven't been many players more polarizing than Westbrook.
That's crazy. Hey, like I told you, I'm taking Russell Westbrook over Steph Curry.
I am legend.